Hello and welcome back. I'm Maria Ressa. This is Rappler's panel on the debate that is ongoing. It's fascinating. We're
It
with
is.
Jail Cornelio, Clarissa David, and Marites Vitug. We just finished round 5. Let's go. Round 5. We were just in the process of talking about who's gaining what.
That's true. That's true. Well. For a change, let me talk about Onasan this time. I like listening to him. It's like listening to your old grandfather, who tells you the entire history of the world, and every time he explains something, he gives you a nice buffet. It feels like SM. He's got it all. But in a way, he's right. When we talk about the peace process in Mindanao, right, and how to address those problems, I think it's a mistake to see it as a criminal problem, and that's, I think, how other candidates are trying to present it. That Mindanao is a criminal problem, is a problem of being insubordinate to the national government. I think it's a mistake to put it that way. And religion has also been brought up. I think at the end of the day, we want to recognize that ARMM in particular is the poorest region in this country. And I'm afraid that I have not heard any concrete intervention or any concrete program from any of these vice presidential candidates.
Clarissa.
There's a lot of talk about Duterte in various ways during this debate, and I think we are starting to hear a lot. We're starting to hear about federalism now, and that's one thing that has not been clear from the Digong-Alan partnership is what do they really mean by federalism? Do they mean an actual federalism like the United States?
Yes.
Or are they talking about just allocating more money to the local governments and giving them more powers? Those are two different solutions. So we need to hear concrete plans when they say federalism.
Exactly.
What does that really mean? And it's the same lack of concrete plans with eradicating crime. It's not a plan to say that they're going to resign after 6 months if it doesn't happen. That's not a plan.
Right.
It's a complete
That's true.
circular argument.
What did you make of how Alan Peter was challenged?
Now it's the time. Now because he's been picking on other people, he gets picked on. You have to expect that when you do that kind of thing. And I think this is where Jail is right, that at some point it will backfire on him, because this is how it backfires. Is if you pick a fight with one person, that person is going to be picking a fight with you next. So now he has to answer for all of his transgressions. The interesting thing is, I don't know how it's going to play out, because Leni Robredo has been disappearing. Because she doesn't have a chance. All these people are naming the other person, so you give them another minute, and then this other person, and you give them another minute. And what happens is the debate gets slower, and you have candidates that just don't have enough face time.
Gender imbalance also, I think.
Because of that.
Yes.
No, I think also Alan has to clean up after all the remarks given by his presidential candidates.
That's right.
So it's a lot of defending to do. That's a baggage in this kind of debate.
Yeah.
At the same time, Trillanes has no presidential candidate, so he can say whatever
whatever
he
he
wants to
wants.
say. There's no platform, and he even said, "But I'm only running for vice president." So there's Alan's baggage, and then there's Bongbong's history and heavy baggage. So, and Leni is the fresh face, but maybe you're right, there's no chance for her to speak up because she's not being attacked, isn't she?
Yes.
She's not being
Yes,
really hit.
because she's not being attacked. Which is a good thing.
Is this a matter of being gentlemen?
Oh, that's a good
To
point.
be fair to the feminine?
That's one, and it's not going to look good if you're attacking a woman.
Yes.
And then the other one is you can't attack her on corruption. There's just, and she's fresh, like you said, so she doesn't have a track record yet for a lot of these things. So it's very difficult to attack her on positions.
That's true. That's true.
So you were summarizing up when before the last break, who is moving ahead? And Jail, I was asking you if we're saying, do you still believe the same points that you made last time, that it is Alan Peter
Yes.
and Leni
Leni
who are
But
going to be taking?
if Leni is not going to fight for her time, she might lose her chance to gain votes.
That's true. That's true. That's true. In fact, that's my assessment also. In this particular round, I don't know if anyone actually has trumped anyone.
Yes.
Because I felt that they all lingered on motherhood statements, and I think we need to be very careful. Of course, Cayetano tried to. Trillanes had a ball. Had the guts, I suppose, in calling out Cayetano's, I would say, irresponsible statements also. I mean, it's one thing to say that you are a crime fighter, you're a crime buster, but it's another thing to say that you will finish everything in 3 to 6 months.
Yes.
Because I think ultimately that what happens is that you're raising our hopes too high and you're pandering to the religiosity of this country, right? Because you're presenting yourself as the savior. And
Messiah complex.
The Messiah complex. And guess what? They will die and they will not come back to life.
Yeah.
And that's my hypothesis.
Yes. No, how interesting. Marites, you were just on Al Jazeera on a Duterte
And I got
documentary.
a very angry message from a Duterte supporter. That's the kind of following he has.
Oh, and we're back. We're going
Yes.
right back to the debate. Here you go. We're switching.